It's the end of a long shift. Gabriel, an experienced technician on your team, notices something. A pressure check step that's supposed to happen before every cycle has been getting skipped for weeks. He knows it matters, but he also knows how busy things are. He knows the production targets. And he knows how the last person who raised a concern like this was treated. What happens next depends entirely on one thing: the environment you've created. Here's what neuroscience tells us is happening inside Gabriel in that moment. The human brain is always running one background process. Am I safe? Not just physically safe, socially safe, psychologically safe. Deep in the brain sits a structure called the amygdala, your brain's threat detector. And it cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a social one. Being dismissed, being blamed, being made to feel small in front of colleagues. The brain processes these the same way it processes physical danger, triggering the fight, flight, or freeze response. When that happens, the thinking brain shuts down, problem-solving stops, and Gabriel stays quiet. So when an employee hesitates before speaking up, they're not being difficult. They're following their biology. In recalling an interaction, your brain tends to remember two things: where you were and how you felt. So an employee may not necessarily remember the exact words you said to them, but they will remember how you made them feel. A dismissive response, and Gabriel never raises something like this again. Neither will anyone watching. A supportive response, and something shifts. The environment changes. This is the heart of human and organizational performance. Your response is not just a management skill, it is a safety mechanism. Now that may seem like an obvious conclusion, but in practice, being supportive as a leader is about more than just being nice or making firm decisions. It's about your level of clarity and empathy during critical moments. Clarity, in the simplest sense, is about reducing ambiguity. Vague tasks create anxiety, and anxiety is perceived as a threat to your brain. Empathy creates psychological safety, triggers the vagus nerve, and releases oxytocin, the trust hormone. A low empathy environment can trigger a fear response and raise cortisol. Empathy isn't soft, it's cognitive performance. Michael says to Gabriel, "Thank you for bringing this to me. Let's understand what happened." Notice what he's doing in that moment. He's bringing clarity by slowing it down and empathy by making it safe for Gabriel to stay engaged. Together, those two leadership skills create the conditions that human and organizational performance depends on. But moments like this don't begin when someone speaks up. They begin weeks, months, sometimes years earlier. Michael had invested in Gabriel long before this conversation. He took the time to know him as a person, listened, and followed through. He treated questions as opportunities instead of interruptions. Think of it as an emotional bank account. Every time you genuinely listen or provide clear expectations, you make a deposit. Those deposits build trust and create equity before difficult moments ever arrive. When people believe they'll be heard, clarity becomes easier to accept. When they trust your intent, coaching feels like support. That's why clarity and empathy aren't separate leadership skills. They work together. Clarity helps people understand what success looks like. It aligns expectations and gives people confidence to act. Empathy helps people stay engaged when the conversation becomes difficult. It keeps the brain focused on learning. That's the essence of coaching in the moment, solving problems together instead of taking control away. And leadership doesn't end when the conversation is over. Recovery is where culture is reinforced. Even a good leader can get it wrong. We all have moments where we don't reflect the kind of leader we want to be. Recovery from those moments matters just as much as the moment itself. The emotional bank account gives you the equity to repair the relationship, and repairing it starts with owning your response. A simple conversation that says, "I want to do better," can rebuild trust far more effectively than pretending it never happened. Clarity helps people understand your intentions. Empathy acknowledges the impact. Together, they demonstrate accountability. The strongest leaders are constantly investing before the moment, coaching during and recovering after when they fall short. That's how psychological safety becomes more than a concept. It becomes the everyday experience of the people you lead.